Real Betis are doing quite well in real life right now, so I decided to start a career mode for them. The goals for the first season: finish in the top 4, like they're trying to do in real life, and maybe go all the way to Europa League. So let's get into it. For transfers, we're losing Sergio Canales to Roma for 57 mil, but we're having a huge squad overhaul. Mendes and Dumfries in, Better Call Saul in, lots of players sold as well. Getting rid of the deadwood, we got a few good free agents, especially these two. Nadir Suleiman, he was in there for some reason, and Michael Kramer. So always check the free agents. There's always a few good players in there. We're also going to be bringing some youth academy players into the first team with lots of potential as well. We've gone with a bit of a whack formation here. I did what was best, what I felt like was best. So we have Fakir up top, Kramer and Canales as the wingers until he leaves in January, Dumfries and Mendes as wingbacks, Carvalho and Rodriguez center mid, Luis Felipe, Suleiman, and youth academy player Estrada at center back, and Silva in goal. On to the highlights from the first half of the season. Dumfries sends a through ball to Fakir, and that's how I feel like we're going to get most of our goals this season, from the counterattack, based on the way we're set up. Not too long after, Villarreal and legendary difficulty being legendary difficulty just scores when it wants to, and it's 1-1 in the first game of the season. Onto the second half, Nuno Mendes sends the through ball to Kramer, and again, the counterattack, the amount of pace we have is insane, and Kramer makes it 2-1, and then Kramer sets up Mendes. Those two are going to have lots of goals this season, and Dumfries. Mendes and Dumfries are going to have lots of fun in this team. We go 3-1 up, but a little bit later, some bad defending, Villarreal win the balls, and then a back heel, which I was not happy about. I was not happy about that goal, and then we end up throwing away the game. I thought we won it, but then 85th minute, Villarreal, poor defending, and then here you go, gets beat at the near post. We tie the game 3-3. First Europa League game of the season, away at Roma. Wijnaldum sends a through ball, and we get caught out in the back again, and then minutes later, again, they're caught out with Wijnaldum. No idea what he's doing at Roma under Mourinho. And they took a 3-0 lead, and then right before halftime, Canales, against the club I'm going to sell him to, scores a free kick. He's been quite good for us, but 57 mil was too hard not to refuse that. But he scored a beauty here, get us back in the game at 3-1. In the second half, Rodriguez wins the ball, gets it to Dumfries, who scores. We thought the comeback was on, but it would remain 3-2, and we'd lose our first Europa League game in charge. An away game against Barca up next. Fakir turns on his pace, is in through 1-on-1, should be scoring, bounces off Ter Stegen, and then off of Christensen into the net. A bit lucky, but we'll take it nonetheless. Away against Barca, and then they just play through us way too easily here. The defending isn't that good, and Lewandowski, he doesn't miss, like a hot knife through butter. Good goal from Barca, and then they hit us on the counter. With Memphis playing a killer through ball when Lewandowski's 1-on-1, he ain't missing, and we lose 2-1 to Barca. And then against our rivals Real Madrid in the league, good play here. Nuno Mendes in on goal, puts it in the bottom corner. He has some pretty good finishing stats for a left back. And then playing again here in the first 10 minutes, Real Madrid play through here. I don't know what Suleiman was doing, but it's an assist for him to give it straight to Benzema on a plate. And then we're on the counter attack again, doing what we do best, splitting the field. Mendes is there again on the end of it. He's getting lots of goals in. He's enjoying his time here. And then later into the second half, Mendes was looking for his hat trick, but it actually be Wandme. He's been a great player for us off the bench. Makes it 3-1, and we beat Real 3-1 at home. Next game against Atletico Madrid. Dumfries getting away here. Kramer gets it back to him. Dumfries with a great finish. Like I said, him and Mendes gonna be getting plenty of goals in our 3-4-3 system. And then on to the second half, straight from kickoff, some nice interplay between the lads. And Dumfries puts in the opposite corner. He's got some great shooting stats as well as we win that game. Now on to Real Sociedad next in a must-win game. And Canales, he is a dead ball specialist. He scored one against Roma. I think he scored about 3 of these this season. Shame he'll be gone in January. Maybe we can find another great free kick taker. And then late into the game, it's a 3-3 filler. We really needed to win this if we wanted to boost our way up the table. Thought we lost it. Nuno Mendes, Kramer, Dumfries gets it back to Mendes, who wins us the game dramatically in the 90th minute. And our wingbacks doing the business for us again. We're halfway through the season, and our aim of top 4 is not looking that great. Real Sociedad in 4th place with 38 points. We're in 9th on 31. Real Madrid's below us for some reason. They're having a really bad season, but we're going to really need to pick up the form in the second half to get into the top 4. And as for the Europa League, they finished tied on points with Roma, but they beat us twice, which is why we will be in the preliminary round. So that's more games for us to play, and we're up against Victoria Pools in there. For January transfers, we didn't really do much. We needed to get in a new player to replace Canales, and we got that in Daichi Kamada from Frankfurt for 45 mil, and Amadou Haidara from Leipzig for 35 mil to also strengthen the bench. Second half of the season, here we go. In the Supercopa de España, we got off to a great start here. In real life, this is supposed to be played in the Middle East, but we're playing it at home. Fakir gets us off to a great start here. 1-0 up against Barca. But it didn't really go too well from there. Lewandowski, De Jong, Rafinha, and it was soon made 1-1 really quickly. And then they catch us out again. Pedri this time, making it 2-1. And off of a free kick, De Jong heads it in, and we go out of the Supercopa 3-1. Not like it was the biggest deal in the world. But anyways, on back to the league, where we needed to desperately pick up some wins if we wanted to finish in the top 4. Nuno Mendes, though, always on the run, always scoring goals, and then straight from kickoff, we win the ball back. Fakir, outside of the foot shot, with absolute beauty, 2-1 against Osasuna, and then Dumfries heads in from close range, make it 3-0. Good start. Back to league action, and then against Real Madrid. I have no idea why it's snowing in Madrid, but I don't think it should be. Benzema scores early though, but early into the second half, we get on the break. Dumfries misses the first shot, but follows up a rebound, makes it 1-1 in a snowy day in Madrid. Still can't get over the fact it's snowing there. But anyways, quickly later, Kramer, going through the defense, gets a little bit lucky there, but makes it 2-1, and we looked to be on our way to beating Real Madrid again. And then Kamada, tight finish from here, but he makes it work, and we do the double over Real Madrid this season. But we do give away a penalty at the end. Benzema slots it away, but it finished 3-2. Then against Poles in Europa League round 32 or knockout, or whatever, the first round of knockouts in Europa League. As in the first leg, we lost 2-1, but we made light work of them in the second leg, basically walking the ball into the back of the net with a great performance from everybody. Iglesias getting on the score sheet here and winning the ball back with Iglesias. Sends it forward. Like here, unselfish, puts it across, yet another goal, and then last one of the route, Haidara, probably the best goal of the game, and we move on against Athletic Bilbao in the league, getting ourselves off to a great start here. Great play, and finished off by Kramer, but soon later, Bilbao catched them out again with Nuno Mendes, who had blistering pace, able to put the ball in the back of the net to make it 2-0. But then Bilbao catches out on the counterattack. Sunset makes it 2-1 for them. And then later into the second half, Mendes again getting open on the wings, and you just know he's going to score. He's probably been one of our best scorers this season, along with Kramer and Fekir. He might actually be the top scoring charts in the league. But Athletic Bilbao get one back, win the game 3-2. Then against Madrid at home in a must-win game in the top 4 battle. It's a nice ball sent across. Fekir gets on the end of it, and then Atletico hits on the counter-attack right here. Griezmann through to Cunha, and I think that was our only shot of that game, and it finished 1-1. In the Europa League round of 16, we lost the first leg against Arsenal 1-0. We got off to a perfect start here. Within 5 minutes, Nuno Mendes yet again getting on the end of things and scoring. But then late into the second half, about an hour in, Arsenal dribbling around us and getting a free shot, and we would lose the tie 2-1, draw that game 1-1, but we were out of the Europa League. Really disappointing because we wanted to win that competition. And then again in another crucial top 4 battle, a Seville derby, Kramer getting us off to the perfect start. Exactly what we needed. And then Sevilla, the defending this season hasn't been too great. I've been happy with Suleiman and the youth academy player, but they get us 1-1 here. And then immediately after, Dumfries hits the post when he threw 1-on-1. Headers one again. Kramer, and it falls to Kamada, and he gets the good shot out of that one. 2-1. Fekir sending a through ball to Kamada again. He's been a pretty good signing, I have to say. Just as good as Canales. And then late here, Fekir, what a ball over the top, and Saul, who better to call than Saul? And applies the finish to that through ball. Last game of the season, 2 points behind Atletico, Real Sociedad in 4th, and we needed to beat them in order to get the 4th spot and have Atletico lose. But we didn't make stuff easy for ourselves when we went down 2-0, and right here when we went down 3-0, I thought it was pretty much game over from then, and our top 4 chances were gone as we needed to win, and Atletico were winning another game at the moment. Nuno Mendes, though, wins the ball back from the high press, makes it 3-1 just before halftime. Some great play here. Fekir in through on goal, and right-footed shot into the top corner. And then early into the second half, William Carvalho, Mendes goes past 1, goes past 2, puts it on a plate for Kramer, who has a tap in. It's 3-3. And then later, Kramer, Fekir completes the comeback. It's 4-3. What a game we had. And then we made it 5-3 later, and then a straight from goal kick, Strada gets it to Dumfries, and he does the rest. Just like Mendes, has a lot of pace, and puts it in to make it 6-3, and surely put top 4 in our hands. Sociedad did get a late goal though. All we needed to do was hope for a loss from Atletico, and we would be in the top 4. And we finished 4th in the league. An incredible second half of the season. A little bit of help from Osasuna beating Atletico Madrid in the final game, and a great comeback of our own. But we'll be in the Champions League next season, and Villarreal won the league. A bit insane. And Real Madrid are getting Conference League next season. That's insane as well. Barcelona won the Copa del Rey. Spurs finally win a trophy and beat Celtic in the Europa League final. And Real Madrid won't be in the Conference League next year, actually, because they won the Champions League against RB Leipzig in the final. How did they finish 7th in the league and win the Champions League? Top scorers in the league, Rafinha with 27. Fekir's up there in 5th with 21, and Kramer in 8th with 19. Fekir destroyed the assist chart with 20 assists. Kramer also up there with 11 assists. And Rui Silva is second in the clean sheets with 9. As for the stats this season, Fekir, best player, has to go to him. 21 goals, 20 assists in the league, 26 and 24 overall. Kramer, 20 and 12. Nuno Mendes from wingback, great season, 15 and 3. Iglesias 11 and 3, mostly off the bench. Dunk threes with 9 and 8. And Kamada, second half of the season, also had a good turnout as well. But that's the end of this video, and we'll be in the Champions League next season.